Hey, what's going on, everybody? So this past week, my buddy got in contact with me and requested a rustic coat hanger, like a coat rack. And I actually had a bench that I made for him a little while back, so he kind of wants it to match that and go above that rustic barn beam bench, and kind of match it in color and things like that. So I figured I'd bring you along on a little short video today and show you how I'm going to make a rustic coat rack hanger out of this piece of wood. Let's go. So the first thing I do is cut my piece down to length. I'm doing this at 48 inches long. And this is just a piece of rough wood I had laying around from, we actually salvaged this from my aunt's corn crib. If you saw a video we did a while back about that, some of the things that we salvaged. This is just roughly about 5 inches wide by maybe 1.5 inches thick. And next I'm just going to give it a quick sanding, get a lot of this dirt off, take some of the big splinters and things off, and especially on the front with the saw marks, it should really make those pop when we put the poly on a little bit later. And I'm using a 150 grit sanding pad for this. So these are the hooks that I'm going to use. They look like old railroad spikes. They're actually pretty cool. They're a nice quality. Sometimes when you get stuff like this, they're not very nice quality because it's more of a modern make. If you guys are interested in these, I have a link below in the description box. And now I'm just going to measure out evenly for these hooks. I started 4 inches in from each end, and then I did 8 inches on center from there. So we'll have 6 hooks total. And then I'm just going to use an adze to kind of start a little hole. You don't really need to pre-drill for these, but it's good to have a little hole to start your screw into. And next I'm going to use a torch to burn the end here, just to kind of blend it with the rest of the wood. If you saw my barn beam bench video, I did the same thing there with that. It just kind of blends the raw edges and ends nicely with the naturally aged color. And I'm just going to use a triple thick poly and just put a coat on here. And I only ended up doing 1 coat on this. You can do more if you want, but for something like a coat rack like this, you're not really going to have high traffic, you're not really going to have any weather or anything, so 1 coat should be just fine. And most of it is just, add a little protection obviously, but also to bring the color out, it makes it a little bit darker and richer. Next I'm going to use a 600 grit sandpaper and just go over this very lightly just to make it nice and smooth. Get some of the little roughness off from the poly. You obviously don't want to press hard at all. You want to make sure the sandpaper does most of the work. And now I'm going to attach the hooks. And I do kind of measure out in between each one here just to kind of keep them even, because if you try to eyeball it too much and one gets a little wonky, you will notice it after it's on the wall and you can kind of see it from farther away. So I wanted to make sure I kind of kept them as straight as possible. And you can attach this to the wall however, works for you. My friend was actually going to use some fasteners to fasten it himself, but you can use, D-rings. You can, kind of put screws straight through into studs. You can kind of use a bunch of different methods to do that. And that's it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this bonus video. Hopefully it inspires you to, do little projects like this around your house. This was real quick and easy. I had this done in, I think, an evening. So, it didn't take me long at all. So we will be back Wednesday with our usual furniture video. But until then, make sure you check out some of our other videos. We'll see you guys next time.